Everybody, we're back here.
We're here.
Unfriended Reacts.
Also a podcast.
Yeah.
Subscribe and like.
Just a couple
Like
dudes hanging out with some dudes talking about other dudes. Sorry.
What are you saying, bro? So what do we got right now? Are we doing I'm reading it. Dave Chappelle stand-up monologue.
Dave
All right.
Chappelle.
I actually didn't see it.
Is he Italian? Chappelle.
Chappelle. I guess none of us saw this, or we purposely didn't watch this because
we were saving it.
Yes.
Yeah, we were saving it. So
is he gonna strike gold? We don't know yet. I haven't really heard a lot about it, but I want to see it because
It's
it's
the goat.
Dave Chappelle. See how I did that? Chappelle.
Yeah.
Because that's
Chappelle.
That's the only way to say it. He's that good.
I'm with James.
I hope he's smoking a cigarette on the SNL stage. It'll make me feel so good about
If
life.
anyone would get away with that,
It's him.
It's Dave Chappelle.
Joe
All right,
Rogan,
let's start her up.
The GOAT. Let's see.
Joe Rogan.
That's New York right there.
That's power.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, I wasn't sure if it was lit or not.
There you go.
Thank you all for being here. Pretty incredible day.
This was on Saturday.
Told you.
You know what I was thinking about all day today? This is really weird. First of all, I'm nervous. I should tell you that. You can't tell, but all inside. I was thinking about a person I never actually met, but I heard about all my life. I was thinking about my great-grandfather, who apparently, by all accounts, was a very great man. He was born a slave in South Carolina. Was a slave for 10 years of his life.
Jesus, so weird.
And when the Northerners
That
came
close.
down, they started educating some of the newly freed black children, and he learned how to read. Got enamored with education and dedicated his life to three things: education, freedom of black people, Jesus Christ. Became a juggernaut in the AME church. It's a pretty amazing story my great-grandfather had. And I thought about him all day today because I wish I could see him now. And I wish he could see me. Because I wonder what he would say. This week I flew to New York on a private jet to host Saturday Night Live. Netflix started streaming a show that bears his name, Chappelle Show. And HBO Max is streaming it. And I didn't get paid for any of it.
So fucked up.
Yeah, if he could see me now, he'd probably be like, this nigga got bought and sold more than I had.
Oh my God.
Oh, the crowd is look at how nervous they are.
This morning, after the results came in, got a text from a friend of mine in London. And she said, the world feels like a safer place now that America has a new president. And I said, well, that's great, but America doesn't. You guys remember what life was like before COVID? I do. It's a mass shooting every week. Anyone remember that? Thank God for COVID. Someone had to lock these murderous whites up, keep them in the house. All summer long, you know what I've been doing? I've been doing shows in Ohio. I live in a small town in Ohio. And a lot of these small towns in America was dying. My town was dying. So what I did is I did shows in my neighbor's cornfield. And these shows were very successful and may have even helped save the town. Isn't that something? And
I'd love to
the
be one of
local
those.
farmers, my neighbors, started to complain that my shows were too noisy. In a cornfield. Too noisy in a cornfield. cornfield. I had to have a whole town meeting about how noisy I was being in the cornfield. It was so embarrassing. And I resented it. I resented that these country farmers could decide a guy like me's fate. People don't deserve to do that. They haven't seen enough. They don't know anything. They probably watch me right now. They're probably like, at home like, honey, come quick, come quick. The guy from the grocery store is on television. No, you big dummy. The guy from television is at the grocery store. Kind of guy that probably has an account on farmersonly.com. You ever heard of that website, farmersonly.com? Website that begs the question, what kind of bitch only smashes with farmers? That's gross. They had a whole Zoom meeting about me. I didn't talk on the meeting, I was just listening. Man, you should have heard them talking about me. They were saying, man, I'm trying to put my children to bed. And I keep hearing this guy screaming all night. My kids are trying to sleep, and all they hear is the N-word. I said, was I saying it, or were you? He had that twang in his voice. You know that twang where you hear that accent like, oh, I know he doesn't wear his mask. I don't know why poor white people don't like wearing masks. What is the problem? You wear a mask at the Klan rally, wear it at the Walmart too. Wear your Klan hood at Walmart so we can all feel safe. And state like Ohio, for instance, right? People make more money from their stimulus checks than they do if they work. So a lot of people don't want to work. You know what it reminded me of? Ronald Reagan. You're a black fella. You're a young fella, though. You don't know about Ronald Reagan. Remember what Ronald Reagan used to say about black people? How we were welfare people, drug addicts. Who does that sound like now? Stimulus checks, the heroin. And the rest of the country is trying to move forward, and these white niggas keep holding us back.
Wow. Yeah.
Don't even want to wear your mask because it's oppressive. Try wearing the mask I've been wearing all these years. I can't even tell something true unless it has a punchline behind it. You guys aren't ready. You're not ready for this. You don't know how to survive yourselves. Black people, we're the only ones that know how to survive this. Whites, come, hurry quick. Come get your nigga lessons.
That's hilarious.
You need us. You need our eyes to save you from yourselves. Remember when white people and black people couldn't be together? It was just white people alone in a club dancing. You ever see that old footage? How'd they look? What they was doing with the body. You need some black eyes to look at you like, stop doing that. Now Trump is gone.
Yes.
You know, I know a lot of people don't like him, but I thought the guy was at least an optimist. I am not as optimistic as he was. I look at it like, well, there's bad people on both sides. All right, just trying it out. Called the coronavirus the Kung Flu.
Yeah, that was funny.
That's fucking
I
hilarious.
said, you racist, hilarious son of a bitch. I'm supposed to say that, not you. It's wrong when you say it.
He's got a point. He does.
So I'm on a press conference one time. Donald Trump's a wild guy. You ever see this? He was on a press conference, tried to guess the cure of the coronavirus in front of the whole world. It's a wild thing to do. What about very powerful light directly in the body? I said, what? This man just suggests that I put sunshine directly in my body. Well, that's insane. He went further. What about some bleach? Some bleach directly in your body. I said, oh boy. Secret Service is gonna have to childproof the White House now. He's trying to drink the bleach. Mr. President, don't touch that stove. It's hot. Turn those scissors around if you're going to run around the house like this, Mr. President. Scariest part about that, one of the leading virologists in the world was sitting as close as you are to me, and she just watched him say it. It's crazy. Her face was looking like he might be right. She was... I saw that. I said, ooh, that's why. That's why. That's why women make half. Did I trigger you? I don't know what it is. Half, maybe 70%, whatever it is, it's too much.
This crowd sucks. You got greatness in front of you. Laugh.
I'm sorry, Lauren. I thought we were having a comedy show.
Yes.
It's like a woke meeting in here. And after all that, you know what he did? You know what Trump did after all that stuff? Went out and got the coronavirus. Wasn't that something? You know, when he got coronavirus, they said everything about it on the news. But you know what they didn't say? That it was hilarious. It was hilarious. Trump getting coronavirus was like when Freddie Mercury got AIDS. Nobody was like, well, how did he get it?
Come on, Dave, talk to
Guy
him.
was running around like the outbreak monkey. He looked like a 1970s penis, just raw dog in earth.
Oh my God.
Day after they made fun of Joe Biden's mask, this guy wears the biggest mask I've ever seen. What is a ridiculous thing? Joe Biden's mask wasn't any bigger than anybody else's mask, Mr. President. Lucky for the rest of the country, though, he had a good health care plan, didn't he? Some good coverage. Helicopter picked him up. Right in his front yard, helicopter came. Remember that video where he's walking to the helicopter all by himself? No one to be around. Usually he's walking to the helicopter with a bunch of people. No one's around him this time because, you know, he had the Rona. Had his mask on then, didn't he? He was walking over. Helicopter took him to Walter Reed Hospital. You know, I'm from D.C., and I got to tell you, Walter Reed is not close to the White House, but you can walk. Team of doctors was waiting for him. All the doctors came around and gave him experimental medicine and stuff, and flew him back home in a helicopter. And then he walked right up the steps. You ever see this video? He took his mask off and saluted the helicopter, and then walked right in the house, killed 4 more people. I said, $700.50 in taxes goes a long way, doesn't it, sir? Some cold stuff, man. Some cold stuff. That would be like me going to a homeless shelter with a bag full of hamburgers and saying, these is mine. And then just start eating in front of all the homeless. Don't let hunger dictate your life. I was cold, man. Meanwhile, Chris Christie's fat ass was in the ICU fighting for his life. Chris Christie got all the fixings. Everything coronavirus likes to eat, that's what's in Chris Christie's body. Fat, check. Asthma, check. Diabetes, check. Coronavirus is like, Herman Cain's black ass had been dead for 2 weeks. Where was his secret serum? That's your leader.
Oh, man.
Think about that. For 4 years, that's your leader. What kind of man does that? What kind of man makes sure he's okay while his friends fight for their lives and die? A white man. And I don't mean to put this on the whites, but I've been black a long time. I've noticed the pattern.
Crowd is terrible.
No, they're like, they don't know what to do.
But if you're a good white, you actually want to help, and join me. I'm not even joking. It's my plan. It's called the Kindness Conspiracy. It's random acts of kindness for black people. do something nice for a black person just because they're black. And you gotta make sure they don't deserve it.
Race
It's
case?
a very important part of it. They can't deserve it. The same way all them years they did terrible things to black people just because they're black
And didn't deserve it.
and they didn't deserve it.
Okay.
Oh,
You
that's a
driving
Dave
through the hood
Chappelleism.
one day and you see a black dude standing on the corner selling crack, destroying his community. Buy him an ice cream. Buy him an ice cream. He'll be suspicious, but he'll take it. I would implore everybody who's celebrating today to remember it's good to be a humble winner. Remember when I was here 4 years ago? Remember how bad that felt? Remember that half the country right now still feels that way. Please remember that. Remember that for the first time in the history of America, the life expectancy of white people is dropping because of heroin, because of suicide. All these white people out there that feel that anguish, that pain, they're mad because they think nobody cares. And maybe they don't. Let me tell you something. I know how that feels. Promise you, I know how that feels. You're a police officer. And every time you put your uniform on, you feel like you got a target on your back. You're appalled by the ingratitude that people have when you would risk your life to save them. Oh, man, believe me. Believe me. I know how that feels. Everyone knows how that feels. But here's the difference between me and you. You guys hate each other for that. And I don't hate anybody. I just hate that feeling. That's what I fight through. That's what I suggest you fight through. You gotta find a way to live your life. You gotta find a way to forgive each other. You gotta find a way to find joy in your existence in spite of that feeling. And if you can't do that, come get these nigga lessons. Thank you very much, and good night.
I didn't even see it ending that way. I thought he was going to do something completely different.
Nah,
Because I was like,
that crowd was just not.
they were too nervous.
They ruined his set because there was so much. There was a lot of brilliant jokes in there
Yeah.
that they were nervous to laugh at.
Yeah.
Sure.
That's what I'm talking
it's
about.
also not anywhere close to like.
It wasn't. I don't think it was meant to all be funny, but some of those jokes.
I mean,
the half joke, the women getting half pay. Everyone was like,
wrong.
Yeah.
"Come on, laugh at the. It's a joke."
right. Yeah, yeah, I
you
think
know what I'm
you-
I
saying?
think
Like,
he did a monologue mixed with jokes. Not jokes mixed with a monologue.
But he kind of did that with the last.
But he's always been like
He
that.
did that with Trump's
Yeah,
too.
that's
He made
Chappelle.
a couple good jokes about grabbing pussy or whatever,
Yeah.
and then at the end he made a valid point where he said, just like in this one, don't be a winner, an
Don't be a
arrogant
sore
winner.
And if you struggle with losing, think about it. That's basically what he's saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like what he said at the end. It only makes
Yeah, I was gonna
sense.
say
Like,
that ending, how he just wrapped it up, just made that whole thing for me. Because
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, halfway through that, I fell flat. I was like,
it was a little long. That's
Dave,
why.
you're reaching for jokes now, and you're spreading propaganda. Like none of this is funny. But then I get I get his message now, and the way he just tied that all in at the end. I thought that stand
It's
up.
a setup, but
Yeah,
the
I thought
problem
it
was
good.
the setup was really long.
It was a long setup.
It was
yeah.
a long setup to where
Yeah.
you're like, is he?
No,
saying?
I knew he was getting there.
Yeah.
But
And
at the end, it's like,
love the ice cream. I
dude,
love to buy the ice cream for the drug dealer destroying his own community. I was like, that. I'm like, perfect,
that was funny.
Perfect.
It was funny.
He wants America to race cater. Yeah.
No, what he's
That's what
basically. No.
We're trying to get our
Yeah,
hashtag,
come on,
Jesse.
man.
We're trying to push it here.
Yeah, he's like race kidding could work if you know how you do it.
Right.
You gotta know
Hashtag race cater.
Hashtag race cater.
and then hashtag us.
Hashtag offended and unfriended.
Yeah, you can't just do
Yeah,
hashtag.
I mean,
us.
it's our hashtag,
Yeah,
right?
it's our hashtag.
That's Chappelle. That's Chappelle. That's
It was very prolific. It mixed with jokes. I felt like I think maybe because he was reading the crowd, he just switched it up.
I think so too. I think the crowd didn't really jump into it.
He wasn't getting into it. That's probably why it went long too.
Yeah, well, I mean, because some of those jokes just weren't that funny though. Like there was a lot of basic.
I don't think it was in that. It was funny. It's just that the
a couple. Yeah, I see what you're saying, but again, the crowd was just very like nervous about something. It just felt like they were like, should I laugh at that? Should I not?
Right.
And he called them out.
That's also a different Chappelle though. Like, cause like when do you know Chappelle to do that? What's that type of humor? You know, like where he stayed like completely stone faced, you know, through those, and like he delivered it in like a stern way. It was just a different feel of Chappelle. He's
older now. It's gonna be different, but you know,
I love it. I think he's great still, but
I think he just, you know what it is? I think he was dealing with the whole. Because remember, it's Saturday. He learned that day, so it's
that
like
day, yeah.
Like, so who knows what the set really was? He may have 2 sets, maybe one.
I also think people put, and he even talks about people put too much pressure on his word. People want to hear what he has to say all the time, and he's not about that all the time.
I agree.
He's not. He says it. Which
sucks because I feel like he has a very good perspective of things.
Obviously, the way he flips things around.
I love what he just said there. He's like, remember how we all felt 4 years ago?
Yeah.
Half the country feels that way right now. Yeah. It's like, yo, you're 100% right. Like, you don't think like that in the moment. You just feel your victory, and you don't think about the other people that are like,
but it's the same thing.
This is going to be bad. Or,
it's the same thing when you win a Super Bowl and you lose a Super Bowl. You can't help yourself. In that moment.
The wrong T-shirts go to Africa?
Not what I was talking about, but that's just a known thing.
Buffalo Bills.
The Buffalo Bills.
Oh, they clothed all of Africa.
They got real confused when those Patriots shit came. They
were like, what is this?
He got the real one.
Again? 2 years late?
That's a New York Giants.
Yes, sir.
Dig from good old Jesse. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Subscribe and like.
Dave Chappelle's the GOAT.
He's always the GOAT.
Check out the podcast.
Thank you.